Well, I was organizing my shelves where I keep my canning cookbooks, and I thought maybe I'll share these with you. I thought I'd tell you what I like, what I don't like, and what is so-so in the books I have. And I thought you might find that helpful. At the end of this video too, I'm going to be asking you to please comment below and list your favorite canning book and why it's your favorite. But, you know, for canning, everybody has to have a blue book, right? Ball blue book, it's kind of the basic to start with. But Ball also makes regular cookbook type books. This is the complete book of home preserving, and it was, let's see, edited by Judy Kingry and Lauren Devine, and this has a date of 2006, and it has a lot of recipes in it. It's a nice guide, but I really like the all-new Ball canning book better, and I think this one was 2016, and it is called the all-new Ball Book of Canning and Preserving, and it is, doesn't give an editor on this. This is a great book. It has great illustrations, and let's see if I go. In addition, like here, this is talking about the blood orange ginger marmalade, but then it gives examples with the citrus glazed roast chicken, how to use it. And I love recipes that show me how to use what I can, because, you know, more and more people just aren't putting marmalade on their toast, but there are other ways you can use them in cooking. Let's see if I got some others kind of saved here. Oh yeah, and how about make a strawberry syrup and then make a strawberry margarita? I mean, doesn't that sound good? So this book has loads and loads of such recipes, and it is one of my favorites. Now, for a beginner canner, other than the Ball books, I think the Put 'Em Up, which is a terrible title. I don't think my English teacher would have liked this in high school, but this is a great little book. It is by Sherri Vinton, and it was printed in 2010. And for its instructions, like if you're doing jams or anything like that, everything is step by step. I mean, it's really nice. Diagrams all the way. And it also has some great recipes like Szechuan beans. Doesn't that sound good? Now, this book is a little different in that first is the prep section, but then it's a section by your key ingredient. So let's see, let's go to maybe pears. Okay. So for pears, you can make a homemade pear sauce, a pear butter, pickled pears, or spiced pear vodka. And what I like about this, it could be sometimes actual dehydrating or freezing recipes as well as canning. But everything is listed by the key ingredient. So you think, oh wow, do I have a crop of cherries this year? Just look up cherries and you can get some good ideas. So anyway, I think this is a great book for beginners and those who are experienced. Now, if you've been watching my January videos, you'll recognize this. This is the Better Home and Garden Complete Canning Guide. And all three of my recipes were from it. I really enjoy this. It is a 3-ring binder. So it's nice. You can add your own recipes if you want to. And it has a lot of great recipes with pictures. And in the back, it even has, let's see if I can get it out, came with canning labels, which is a nice extra touch. So, I think this was published 2015, but it's a really nice guide, especially if you have your own recipes. You can easily put them in the pages and keep everything nicely organized. Now, on many canning channels, you'll see them talk about the Amish here canning cookbook, and it is by Georgia Varozza. And I do like Full Pantry, Full Heart because, you know, one of the reasons we can is a way to show love to our family and friends. But I don't think she's really Amish. I believe when I read here she's Mennonite. And it's an okay canning book. I mean, it goes through the basics and it includes some pressure canning too. And it's nice, kind of a wipeable surface. And so are the pages nicer, just in case you spill on them. But to me, it's a pretty basic canning book. Now, something a little different. Maybe some of you want to make your jams and preserves for the county or state fair. Here's a book, Blue Ribbon Preserves. And it says Secrets of Award-Winning Jams, Jellies, Marmalade, and More. And it's by Linda J. Amendt. And it really does have a whole section on tips if you're going to show for the fair, what the judges are looking for. And then there are a lot of recipes. I think most of the recipes are, you know, after a while in these canning books, you see the tomato sauce, you see the spaghetti, you see the strawberry jam, you know, there's a lot of repetition. But if you are thinking about showing at your county fair, it might be a book you want to get. So next are some international canning cookbooks. The first one here is the River Cottage Preserves Handbook, and this one is from Britain, and it has some, you know, sometimes the ingredients that you don't think of here for canning. Let's see if I save some here. Okay, how about green gooseberry jam, or Melissa's chestnut jam, which I'd love to know where you get sweet chestnuts. That sounds pretty good. What's another one in here? Let's see. Oh, here's one. You can use beer in your canning for a hearty ale chutney. Hope I said that, chutney. Anyway, a lot of different recipes. I do want to say though that you have to remember that European canning guidelines are not like the USDA here, and they often, if they're making a jam or jelly, just pour it hot into a jar, put the lid on, and it seals, and they consider that good, where we would water bath can it. But this is just a nice little canning book. It gives you, I don't know, some ideas of different kinds of jams than you normally think of. The other one I have, I just keep getting these books that I can't pronounce, right? Mess Confitures. Guess what? This was originally in French. It has been translated to English, and it is the Jams and Jellies of Christine Ferber, I guess. Again, this is a great little book for things that are different. The author is a pastry chef, I guess they say internationally known. This one is Strawberry and Elderberry Blossom Jam. Or how about Celery and Apples with Mountain Honey. Don't you love some of these titles? You know, books like this would be great if you plan on making your own artisan jams and jelly and selling them, let's say at the farmer's market. This might give you some ideas for some really new flavors. I've got two books that kind of go together. The first one was Food in Jars, and that's from 2011, and it is by, what's her first name? Marisa McClellan. Okay, and this is your regular jam and jelly book. Let's see if I got something marked here. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about making the sweet cherry butter. It sounds so good. And of course here in Michigan, we have our sweet cherries in the summer. Here's a different one, mimosa jelly. She came out with another book, which I really like, in 2019, which is called Food in Jars Kitchen. I guess the Food in Jars Kitchen. And the difference about this compared to this is that this is a lot of recipes on how to use what you can in this. And I love it when they give sample recipes. Like, let's see, what's this one? Here's something different. Tomato cheddar scones. Sounds interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I think I'd make this. Plum teriyaki sauce. That sounds really good. Or if you got made sauerkraut, how about sauerkraut soup? So anyway, there's a lot of great recipes in here, and I really like that because a lot of times, you know, we can have things and they're on our pantry, but we only make 1 or 2 dishes with it because that's all we know. But this can really help you use some of your canned goods in a novel way. Okay. This is one of my favorite, really, canning cookbooks, just to read, period. This is the Mrs. Wheelbarrow's Practical Pantry. Okay? And in here she says, your pantry should not be the same as mine. Everybody's pantry should be different because our family doesn't all eat the same food. But this also has a section on brining and smoking and curing your meat and dehydrating. So it's more than just canning, but it has both water bath and pressure canning. So let me show you one of the reasons I like this. Oh, every space is used too. Okay, here you got guides. This is oven temperatures needed. What was the other one? Conversion tables, and in the back it has more tables to use similarly. And let's go. Okay, here's a recipe that to me, I'll show you the picture first. Okay, so the picture is over there. They're called Bundle of Joy. And it has the recipe for it, and you're using your preserves. You could use like your cherry preserves, and you might even add a little cheese to it, and you're putting it in a little purse pocket of made from phyllo sheets. And I mean, I thought it was pretty clever for an appetizer. We also have here bonus recipe, chicken breasts with currant sauce. That's another one. Oh, and it goes into great detail if you've ever wanted to make duck confit. It's probably not how to pronounce it again. Any of you that took French in high school or speak French fluently, please excuse my ignorance. But anyway, it has great recipes, nice pictures in it. I mean, this could be a book for your coffee table. It's really a great canning guide. Now, certain canning guides have tried to appeal to the younger generation. We have here Not Your Mama's Canning Book and Canning for a New Generation. This book has really nice pictures. Full page pictures. It's nicely done. It does have some unique recipes. In fact, this is where Lisa at Sutton's Days got her maple bourbon pecan pie in a jar recipe from, I think. But overall, a lot of the recipes to me aren't that different from the ones your grandma made. So it's an okay book. I prefer Canning for a New Generation. And this one is by Liana Krissoff. And it was published in 2010. So let me... Again, beautiful pictures. And this one is a little different than it's arranged by season. So, you know, what can you can spring, summer, fall. And it has some really great recipes. And it has kind of an international flair. And that's one of the things I like about it. But, for instance, it has how to can pineapple jam with Chinese 5-spice. That's definitely different. And then it has a recipe for Malaysian Chinese New Year pineapple tarts. I mean, that's something different. It would be great at a New Year's party, right? So maybe you make the brandy cherry recipe in the book, and you could make a perfect sidecar with it, which is a drink I've never had. And it also talks about using sweet cherries on chicken roast. There's a lot of neat recipes in here. So to me, I really prefer this one over the Not Your Mama cookbook. But it depends what you're looking for. Like I said, in a candy book, I love it when they show recipes on how to use something. Now, there's also books that capitalize on small batch preserving. This one is called Well Preserved, and it's by Mary Ann Dragan. I like to think that's me, Well Preserved. But we have this book, and then we have one, Well Preserved with the hyphen, and that is by Eugenia Bone. Now, this is a nice book, and I think most jams and jellies recipes now are small batch. They're 6 pints or under generally. We aren't seeing the things generally to make 20 quarts of whatever, or 20 pints of jam. But it has neat ones, like here is chunky apple marmalade with ginger. Or let's see, another one here. Pickled cherries with tarragon. I've never had pickled cherries. Feisty red pepper ketchup. So again, interesting recipes, but of the two, I prefer the hyphenated Well Preserved. And again, it has recipes on how to use what you cook. So, say you have your cherries and wine, which hey, I have canned. You could make cherry dessert soup with mascarpone again, which is probably the way it's pronounced. Look at, you can make apricot almond shortbread. Has a lot of nice pictures and some great recipes. So of the two, I like this one the best. But I do have another one called the Complete Book of Small Batch Preserving. And this one is by Ellie, Topp, and Margaret Howard. And it is from 2008. The other books were from 2009. Oh, and I forgot to show something in Bone's book too. It has, I'll find it here. Okay, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. It has really detailed instructions on how to make mushroom duxelles. I am sure that's not the way it's pronounced. But then it tells you, using that recipe, how to make a quick beef Wellington. I mean, it's got a lot of neat things in here. But there is the other book here, the complete book of small batch canning. And again, this does have some recipes in it. Like, you know, how to make a smoothie using your jam, or a microwave apple crisp. And it has a lot of your typical recipes, but here's something cranberry maple butter. And it doesn't have as many pictures as some of the other books, but it does have some good recipes, and it's not a bad little book. So kind of, we've been talking about gourmet recipes, I think by the names of some of them, but this one is called Gourmet Preserves with Ches Madelaine, and it's from 2005. Now, I like that it has big print, so it's easy to read. The instructions are good, and it does have some more unique recipes, such as Cur cocktail jelly, or ratatouille marmalade. So, is this a must-have book? No, but it's not bad to have on your canning shelf. One book I wouldn't recommend buying is The Farmer's Wife Canning and Preserving Cookbook. Unless you're kind of interested in snippets from old magazines, like this is from 1911, Practical Device for Straining Jelly. And it has all little like different things like that in it. Here's some more. And it does have your basic recipes in it, but I don't know. At the back, it does have some recipes also how to use the food that you can. Here's one called, and this is from 1934, Tomato Custard with Cheese Sauce. There's another one in here, Creamed Pea Soup. Ugh. So, obviously, I'm not a fan of some of these older recipes, but if you are more of a canning historian, this might be the book for you. And finally, this is my own canning binder. Yep, Pepper Potpourri's real name is Mary Ellen. Shh, it's a secret. But anyway, in here I have put all the recipes that I care about, and I've done them by month. So hey, if it's June, it's going to have strawberries, right? If it's September or October, apples. So it's done that way, but it's helped me keep a lot of my favorite recipes straight. So a canning binder isn't a bad idea. I do have a section even for tips, and let's see if I can show you different canning tips to remind myself. But I think everybody should have their own canning binder where you keep your favorite recipes so you don't have to keep looking them up. Now, maybe none of you own a canning guide or a canning cookbook because you have something called the internet. And I know that's a popular way to get information, but I really like a physical book and to actually read it and go back to it. So these are my recommendations. I'd love to hear what is your favorite canning guide and book. Please comment below and tell me why it's your favorite. As always, thank you so much for subscribing. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video.